The story begins on a bleak, wintry day in Detroit, a city known for its industrial roots, its grit, its resilience, and its struggles. Snow blankets the streets like a worn-out coat, and the wind slices through the air like an old blade. It's cold. It's in this bitter, unforgiving chill that we meet Evelyn Mercer, a warm-hearted, elderly woman who's more than just a neighborhood mother figure. She's a symbol of compassion and second chances. Evelyn, who has spent much of her life helping troubled boys get off the streets and into homes, is in a small convenience store. She greets the owner like an old friend. She notices a couple of young teens pocketing snacks, kids she's probably seen grow up around the block. But instead of yelling or calling the cops, she does what she's always done. She tries to guide them with that firm yet caring tone, the kind only a mother figure could deliver. But then, tragedy strikes. In the blink of an eye, two masked assailants enter the store, and what should have been a routine day ends in horror. Gunshots echo through the aisles, screams, confusion, and then silence. Evelyn Mercer is shot, killed right there in that store. What seems like a random robbery gone wrong leaves a hole in the heart of her community and sets a chain of events into motion that no one could have prepared for. News of Evelyn's death spreads like wildfire, but for four very different men, it hits harder than anything else ever could. These are the sons Evelyn raised, not by blood, but by choice. Not perfect boys, not from stable backgrounds, but to her, they were worth saving. Bobby Mercer is the first to arrive, a rough-edged, hot-tempered man with a past full of fights and a reputation that makes people keep their distance. He was the oldest and the most loyal. Next comes Angel, slick, smooth, and unpredictable. He's got charm, but behind those smiles are stories untold. Then there's Jeremiah, the steady one. He's married now, has kids, a business, responsibilities. The one who tried to do things the right way. And finally, Jack, the baby of the group. Sensitive, creative, a little softer than the rest. They called him Jackie, and he always looked up to the others. At Evelyn's funeral, they stand shoulder to shoulder in the biting cold. They don't say much, but their silence says everything. They haven't all been together in years, but now they're here, united not by celebration, but by a deep, aching grief. But grief isn't the only thing brewing in their hearts. Beneath the pain, there's a slow-burning fire, a suspicion, a growing sense that Evelyn's death wasn't just senseless, it was intentional. The brothers don't buy the story the cops are selling. A simple robbery? Evelyn, of all people, was careful. She didn't stay out late. She wasn't reckless. Something doesn't sit right. They start asking around, talking to people Evelyn helped, knocking on doors, shaking trees and stirring up dust that some folks would rather stay settled. They learned she'd been raising concerns about shady construction projects, pushing back on redevelopment deals that reeked of corruption. Turns out, Evelyn had been stepping on toes, dangerous toes. And then the name starts to surface. Victor Sweet, a man who operates in the shadows, but owns half the city's dirty laundry. He's the type of man who doesn't just run a crew, he runs entire neighborhoods through fear, control, and manipulation. Everyone knows his name, and most are too scared to say it out loud. The police won't admit it, but some of them are in Victor Sweet's pocket. Others are just too afraid to push back. The system is broken, the streets are quiet, but only because people are too scared to speak. But the Mercer brothers, they don't scare easily. As they dive deeper, tension rises, not just with the city, but among themselves. Bobby wants action, fists, guns, retaliation. He believes if they hit hard and fast, they'll get answers. Jeremiah disagrees. He's more measured. He has a family to think about. He wants to go about things smartly, strategically. This causes friction. Old wounds start to reopen. Childhood rivalries resurface. Angel, dealing with unresolved issues with his ex-lover Sophie, finds himself torn between loyalty to his brothers and the complications of love. And Jack is trying to keep the peace. He's not built for violence, but he'll stand by his family, no matter the cost. Despite the bickering, one thing is certain, they all loved Evelyn. And they'll do whatever it takes to find the truth. Victor Sweet isn't just a criminal. He's a kingpin masquerading as a businessman. He throws lavish dinners, plays psychological games, and demands public obedience. His methods are violent but calculated. The brothers begin tearing through his operations, interrogating his men, chasing leads, sending a loud and clear message. They're coming for him. Victor retaliates. He sends a message of his own by targeting people close to the brothers. Jeremiah's business is vandalized. Jack is threatened. Angel's home is watched. It's psychological warfare. But these aren't the same boys who needed saving once. They're grown men with grit, fury, and a sense of justice sharpened by grief. Then comes the film's most emotional turning point. The brothers are ambushed. In the chaos, Jack is shot. The youngest, the dreamer, the one who still believed in music and art in better days. He dies in the snow, in the arms of his brothers. The grief is suffocating. Even Bobby, who rarely shows emotion, breaks down. But they can't stop now. If they give up, Jack's death means nothing. Evelyn's death becomes just another headline. They track Victor Sweet to a frozen lake. It's poetic, the coldness of Detroit matching the coldness of this showdown. Bobby strips away all the extras. No armies, no tricks. Just one man standing against another. Victor tries to manipulate, tries to talk circles. But Bobby is past words. They fight. It's ugly. It's raw. But in the end, Bobby overpowers him. Not because he's stronger, but because he's fighting for something more. Victor Sweet dies, not just as a criminal, but as a symbol of everything rotten in the city. With Victor gone, the grip of fear over the community starts to lift. Slowly, quietly. People begin to speak up, to walk with less fear. The brothers rebuild Evelyn's house, together, brick by brick. They don't say much. They don't need to. The weight of what they've lost is written in every motion, every nail hammered. They're not just fixing a house, they're preserving a legacy. Evelyn's home was never just walls and doors. It was shelter, it was redemption, it was family, and now it stands again. The Mercer brothers are changed. They may not be whole, but they're together. And in a city like Detroit, that means everything.